Hi guys, Eric Pathy here at PickDogs.com for your overnight not football free Saturday. You know, everybody thinks there's no football on Saturday, Al, but the reality is there is football. It just depends what football. And I asked you this in one of the other videos, and I don't know if it's repetitive, but I can't remember the answer or if I actually asked. When's the last time you actually watched a UFL or CFL game?
Last week.
Okay. How would you, if somebody was getting in their car and driving to the stadium, what would you rate it? Like, is it a good time, a fun time for the kids and the family, or is it, it's good to have?
Oh, I mean, I've never been to a game. I've watched on TV. I would not go to a game. I don't think it would be fun because the stands are empty.
Got it.
I mean, maybe that's good if you've got a family and you've got 6-year-olds who want to run around and not bother people because there won't be anyone to bother. They could just, run all over the bleachers.
What do you think so how do you think that they're just not doing a good job of marketing it, or just there's nothing that?
Well, that's not what this is about. This is about television ratings. This is a league created for the gambling world. The idea is to sell it to Fox and ESPN and make money on the TV side. And the idea is that people are going to bet on the games and watch them, and they'll get an audience. I think I might have mentioned to you a few weeks ago, when I looked, they're averaging about 650,000 viewers per game.
It's a lot.
So the issue is, and I'm not a TV,
better right.
Exec. No, but I mean, I don't know what 650,000, viewers a game translates to on a Friday night at 8 p.m. on, when there's nothing else to put on. I mean, is 650 good? Is it bad? Doesn't sound great to me, but what the fuck do I know?
Exactly. Well, it, like you said, if it's created for gambling and created for TV, then, that's the reason it was created, CFL is a bird of a different feather. That's just like the Canadian.
Well, that's a real league. They've got real fans. They've got, they've got the stands are full. They sell tickets. But yeah, the UFL, they don't sell any tickets. It's all about making money from a Fox or an ESPN contract. So I don't know, what if ESPN and Fox will have to evaluate it and determine, do we want to pay money for their rights, or do we want to put on wiffle ball tournaments?
Right. Well, so I got a couple of inquiries today about Big Al's All Access from non-subscribers. And it is well known, I've mentioned here before, most of the people that are members of the All Access upgraded their service. They were actually either monthly or annual members at the website. So if you're watching this and you're already getting Al's plays, doesn't mean that the All Access isn't for you. You'd actually be the majority of the clients that we have where you get the ratings added to your plays. As I discussed in a couple of videos back, we're up about 45 units since January 1st, and we're up about 260 units with the All Access ratings. So I get a lot of people inquiring, and I always say, let me give you a call, Al. And I'm not here to high pressure sales anybody. The purpose of the call is this isn't for everybody. This is an elite product, and I recommend having $25,000 to $50,000 minimum as a bankroll, so you can bet 1% per unit. Think, if you have a $10,000 bankroll, 1% per unit isn't going to be much. So obviously, if you have a $20,000 or a $50,000 bankroll, you can bet 500 a unit. So you can bet 500 up to 5,000 a game on a 10-unit play. And then you could, obviously, it has to make sense where you can overcome the fees. A lot of people.
Well, let me also ask you a question. I'm just curious because we never really talk about this. This time of year, when it's lower volume, wouldn't someone be able to get away with a slightly smaller bankroll compared 100%. To yes. Football and basketball season when you've got 15, 20 plays in the day and you need a much bigger bankroll to be able to bet all the games?
So I have a couple clients that are smaller clients that have joined, in the last 60 days, 90 days. And for that precise reason, the volume isn't there. So yeah, they can definitely handle it because again, the volume isn't there. But like I always,
but they better have the bankroll come September, October, November
exactly.
When the volume is there.
Because I did the math. I went forensic into your records for All Access for all of 2024, and I don't even if you know the records. But basically, you had 31 winning weeks and 19 losing weeks. Obviously, the 19 losing weeks were much less than the 31 winning weeks. And so, what I like to do is I have it laid out on a spreadsheet and I will send it to a potential client and I'll say, this is the reality, as opposed, and like you like to talk about 1,000 games or a 5-year record. This is the reality when you zoom out. So if you can't handle 3 little losing weeks in a row and then 4 huge winning weeks in a row, you're not. It's going to be from lack of money management. I had a client today, an inquiry, and again, I share these stories to try to teach the people that are watching. I said to the client, "What do you bet per game?" In initial conversation, he's asking about all access, and he says 1,500 a game. And I said, "Oh, beautiful! You're a perfect candidate. What's your bankroll?" And then he proceeded to tell me 7,500. It's hard for me to take that in it, not laugh and be disrespectful to the client. So I said, listen, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. You only have like 3 or 4 bullets in the gun. Like one bad weekend, you're betting 1,500 a game. You have a $7,500 bankroll. You're out of business.
Well, it's not that, but he can't even bet if we've got 18 games in a day. He can't put 1,500 on the 18 games. So
exactly. So I always say it's interesting that in the financial world, there's a barrier to entry in a lot of these hedge funds, and of course, any bookmaker will accept any bet, and any legal sports book will accept any deposit down to $200, and any offshore sports book, it's the same thing. I almost wish there were like, oh, you can't open an account unless you have $10,000. You'd be giving everybody.
No.
I know. I'm saying, but from trying to follow a system, because again, like you yourself get emails if you have a couple losses and everybody's crying, they're down, and you deal with it on a daily basis. So again, for the clients that zoom out, what did you do in 2024? You had 31 winning weeks and you had 19 losing weeks, and you were up almost 370 units. So that's the reality. But nothing goes up and down in a straight line. The stock market doesn't. Why would the sports market?
Yeah. I mean, this has been a not good week for us, and I got an email from a client yesterday, and I think my response basically was, I'm sorry, I can't win every week. I wish I could, but
well, and again, like you said, not good week for us is all relative. If you're doing,
it's also been but again, the plays have been small. A lot of like 1 and 2 unit plays. It's not like we're getting destroyed. We had a 10-unit play on Sunday, which won, and that 10-unit play is worth a lot of what the 1 and 2 units add up to. So
exactly. So and again, and that's the other thing. When you're underfunded, you can't utilize the rating system on the larger side. So you'll watch a 10-unit play hit, and you'll say, "Oh, I only had XYZ dollars on it." And the other thing is being limited in sports books. One of the biggest issues that I've had, and again, we'll get to the free selection in a minute, but people do like hearing these stories. If you're in Florida, I mean, I can't tell you, Al, how many all access members I've
Hard
lost.
Rock.
Yeah, I've lost on your service, not because you didn't win. I had a client, he started with $100,000 bankroll. He paid the fee, which was relative to, back in November. And his subscription, when it ended, I said, "Oh, I'll send you the link to resubscribe." He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to take a pass and go back online and get the plays." I said, "Why?" He goes, "Because when I originally started that Hard Rock, let me do whatever I want. Now I can bet $200 a game." It's like, so I said to the guy, "You're allowing the bookmaker to dictate your reality. The reality is you can go offshore and find other ways to play." So, again, being limited to one source that limits you is obviously going to hurt you. So have as many options as you can when it comes to getting your bets down, because even you, Al, experience this on a daily basis with your own betting.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 6 outs, and one of the 6 only allows me to bet games at 11 a.m. on game day. I can't bet before that, which is severely onerous. The other books all have monetary limits ranging from 3,000 on an NBA game up to 6,000 on an NBA game. So, you have to just piece it all together. Well, actually, one of the books I can bet up to 25,000, but they even don't allow me to play until 11 a.m. on game day for the big piece. They'll let me put in 5,000 up until 11 a.m. and then add 11 a.m. I can, loosen it up a little bit. But yeah, you just have to find a lot of outs. And that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I know everybody would like to have like one account where everything's nice and pretty, all their money's in one place. They don't have to keep separate records and piece things
You
together.
can do that if you don't win.
Yes, yes. There you go, guys. I'll leave it on that. With that being said, reach out if you want to get access to the All Access. And what is your complimentary selection for this Saturday?
Yeah, we're going to go out to the UFL. We've got a matchup here between the Michigan Panthers and the Birmingham Stallions. As people probably know by now, Birmingham's been the king of the hill the first few years in these spring leagues. They won every championship in the USFL and now in the UFL. They also have. They may not be the favorite this year, but they've won every championship and they've dominated the Michigan Panthers. They met what is it now? I think 6 times, or yeah, I think they've met 6 times in their history, and Birmingham has won all 6 meetings. I like Michigan in this game. Michigan comes into this game off a 30-18 win over the Houston Roughnecks, and in the UFL, road teams off a win have gone 19-11 ATS and 15-5 ATS if they weren't going into revenge, which when you're 0-6 against a team, you're not going into revenge. So the number has moved significantly in this game. I don't agree with the move. Michigan opened up as a 1.5-point road favorite. They're now a 2.5-point road underdog. I'm going to grab the 2.5 points with Michigan.
Take the 2.5 points with Michigan, guys. Reach out to me, 443-957-1006, or send me an email at eric@pickdogs.com to get access to the All Access. And as always, good day and good luck.